All right, so per various requests, we're back with Ryan's Ramblings. It's been a long time.
When was the last time we did one of these?
I don't know. I would have had to look, and I didn't do that.
It was a while ago.
It was a long time ago. I think it was definitely winter, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. It is June now.
Yeah, because it is hot in here.
It is. It's very hot in the office.
And I'm so tan.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all that being outside in the sunshine.
I know. You can't see the wrinkles on the camera, but I have these raccoon wrinkles right here. But they're not raccoon eyes. Yeah, from squinting outside because I don't wear sunglasses anymore. But I have.
Yeah.
I look like I'm laced right here. It's weird.
Well, the lighting in here is very good, so you look great.
Okay. Well, anyway, so now we're back to Ryan's Ramblings. We're gonna try to launch a few more things and get back into the online presence kind of situation. But this is what we were doing historically. We're gonna do some long form stuff, and then I think we'll have another segment. Is that what you call it? About
Tell me more about the presence.
what presence?
You said we were gonna have online presence.
Presence.
Presence. Oh, presence. We'll see you online.
I guess I have to enunciate better. Or you've got the attention span of our toddler. You've been hanging out with the toddlers too much. So all you're thinking about is presents and prizes and gifts and... Chocolate. That's not new.
Yeah. So since it's been so long, maybe we should remind people
what
this
this
works.
is. So I have a bag of different topics, and I have not looked... I don't even remember what's in this anymore.
I'm listening carefully because I also don't remember what we're doing.
So the whole deal is that you're supposed to pick one of these random topics. He has no idea what's on any of these little note cards or whatever. And then he has 5 minutes. I had to look it up. So I did look it up, but I didn't look up when we did the last one. Anyway, you have 5 minutes to talk about whatever is on this card.
Whatever card I draw out of that bag.
Whatever card you draw.
For 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
All right.
And it doesn't it sounds like, oh gosh, I have to talk about something for 5 minutes. It's actually the opposite. You stop. You have to stop after 5 minutes. You can't keep going.
I'm excited.
I know. All right, so shuffle these up. I don't even know why I'm shuffling them. Who even knows what's on these things anymore? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't either.
It's not a deck of cards. Can't count them.
Take your time.
I'm shuffling them. All right, I got one. Oh, this is a good one.
Oh, it is a good one because we both kind of started back into this recently again.
Yeah, so the card I drew is lifting.
Lifting weights.
Lifting weights.
Not like lifting random boxes or something.
Not like lifting stone megalithic structures. Lifting weights. We're going to talk about lifting weights.
There we go. All right. Wait. Oh my gosh, I'm not set up. See, this is what happens when you don't do this for a while. You just are a complete...
You don't have your timer ready?
wreck. No, I don't. Okay, I have it ready now. 5 minutes.
Format.
Okay. I know. 5 minutes. Ready, set,
All
go.
right, here we go. So I'm going to ramble about lifting weights. First off, if you are not lifting weights, you should. I think this generally applies to almost everybody, even if you haven't really worked out in a long time, which is the situation I am in currently. So that's part of why this is a good one, because this is actually, lifting was on my to-do list today for the first time in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Why has it been a long time? There's been a lot going on, some travel, getting sick, just random things. But the reason I think that everybody should lift weights is because this is one of the things that you can do that will improve your life in the most number of ways for the time that you spend. It's like a very high leverage investment when you lift weights because you're investing in yourself, and the improvements that you make when you lift will make everything in your life easier. I don't think anybody ever wished for less strength. Strength is something that is very important no matter what you do. And what we do out here, there's a lot of chores out on the ranch that we're doing, even riding horses. I remember when I first started lifting more seriously and then rode my horse for the first time in a while, I was surprised because I hadn't mentally made that connection that lifting weights would help me riding a horse. It seemed like two totally different things in my mind.
The exception is when you lift and then you're super sore and then you ride.
Which happened to you yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have like no power.
Yeah. No, but still, even when you're sore from lifting, you have more power than when you just don't lift at all.
Ever. Yeah. No,
So-
that's true. And more control.
And more control. And so there's some really huge benefits beside, like, people think about lifting weights like, oh, I'm going to get big muscles, all this sort of thing. It's a common complaint of women who lift. They say, like, I don't want to get too big. And it's like, that's just not going to happen to you, so don't worry about it. Like, you have
Unless you want to take a bunch of testosterone.
Yeah, you're not going to get too big from lifting and there's a lot of different ways to lift too. When we're saying lifting weights, we don't mean like necessarily you have to follow a bodybuilding program, though that is certainly one option.
There's a lot of trend going on right now that says lift heavy. That's what everyone is talking about, is lift heavy. So what's your 2 cents on lifting heavy versus endurance?
Well, it depends on your goals. I like to do a little bit of both. So like lifting heavy is very useful for like what you might call neurologic gains. So you're training that muscle recruitment, you're training that motor function recruitment, you're getting your nerves to fire those muscles all in coordination and at the same time, especially with compound lifts like squat, deadlift, bench press. Or lately I've been doing like calisthenics, which I would still count it as lifting. If you're doing push-ups and body weight squats and wall squats, you're still lifting weight. It's just your body weight instead of like, a weight. But when it comes to lifting heavy, it's really great for building strength. It's great for building that kind of like synchronized motor recruitment, and especially in the compound lifts. When it comes to lifting for endurance, like lifting, maybe a higher set rep scheme, or lifting a lot of reps per set, there's definitely some advantages to that too. I think there's a kind of a common middle ground that a lot of people find as well, where you're lifting in the kind of like 20 to 30 total reps per exercise. So like one thing that is an easy program that I like is just like 5x5. You do 5 sets of 5. And that puts you in a realm where like you can still go pretty heavy, but you're also getting decently high volume. We should define volume. It's like
The total amount of weight that you're lifting in a...
volume is weight times rep times set. So you multiply all three, you get your volume. And the higher your volume is, the more difficult your recovery will be. Mm-hmm. So like if you do really high volume squats, you're going to be sore in the legs. Mm-hmm. If you do really high volume bench press, you're going to be sore in the chest and shoulders. But there's great things about high volume too, especially as you do that repeatedly, you build your recovery. So like when you first start lifting, you'll find you're sore a lot, which is going to happen to me later today. And the more you do it, the more frequently and consistently you do it, you'll find that recovery time just goes down and down. The last time I was lifting very seriously, I was lifting twice in a day, and I felt great. It's like even 5 days a week, 7 days a week, lifting twice a day, no problem at all. And that is because of the consistency, and it's because of doing some high volume, doing some strength. I always run out of time on these.
know.
There's just not 5 minutes is not long enough.
I know. But it is.
I could talk forever about anything in that bag.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But this is a really good thing because it like targets some subject for 5 minutes, and then you're cut off, and then you don't get to ramble for an hour straight about the benefits of lifting.
I know. Now I have to actually just go lift because we're out of time
that's true.
rambling about lifting.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
And I'm kind of pumped about it now too. I'm definitely gonna.
That's the universe talking to you right there.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, I told you I needed that shuffle. If I didn't shuffle it, I wouldn't have got this card today, and this was the perfect card to get today.
That's true.
They're all gonna be great though. There's not a bad card in there.
Well, I mean, computers was a little rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was.
That one was a little rough.
It was too broad
from
for
the
5
beginning
minutes.
of time. At least you didn't start at the beginning of time
For lifting.
for lifting.
There's like heavy rocks that people lift that are like they have a name. These rocks, like one's called the Diddy Stone. There's like different rocks that people lift that are just a heavy rock. So I mean, lifting is as old as time.
The next thing I know, there's going to be all of these random stones outside. And
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, you were thinking about landscaping. And you're like, well,
No, that's my lifting stones.
that's my new lifting program.
Right. And we have hay bales. So hay bales are kind of They're kind of like a heavy rock, but they're a little bit more high volume.
They are heavy, and you got a lot of them to unload today, so
Yeah, I do.
careful.
And that's that 3-string alfalfa too, isn't it? Those things are.
They're like 100 pounds a bale.
Those things are heavy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that before lifting. No, I'm gonna do that after.
Yeah, you're gonna do
I'm
that
gonna
after lifting.
I'm gonna go lift after.
It's like
this.
90 degrees outside right now, so lift in the
Yeah.
basement where it's cool, and then unload hay.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
All right.
I'm just gonna be slow unloading hay.
Well, it happens.
Yep.
To the best of us.
That's okay. That's not limited to 5 minutes.
True. Or 20 minutes for your lifting workout or whatever. All right, so that was lifting.
Episode we don't even know what.
I think 11.
Is it 11?
I think so.
Okay, we'll see.
I
It
mean-
might be.
We'll look back at it and
Yeah.
put it in the actual post. So we'll try to do another one here pretty quick. We're also going to try a couple of the different formats. I'll have one for asking questions, like random questions of you, but you won't have to, like, that won't be a surprise. You can even prep if you want. So that's an option. If you guys watch this and you're like, ooh, that might be interesting, one of the formats we'll do is ask Ryan 5 questions, and I'll have random questions if people want to send me questions, or even post it as a comment or something. We can add it to because you can see those. It'll be okay. And it doesn't have to be really in-depth questions. It can be like, what was the first car that you ever drove?
I could probably talk about that for 5 minutes.
I know, I'm going to have to cut you off on those. I'll just have to, I won't be able to set a timer. I'll just have to be like, all right, make and model, that's all we needed. We didn't need to know how it was manufactured and shipped to and how many owners it had prior and how many oil changes you did on it.
We'll go to the beginning of time.
Oh, God.
The invention of the wheel.
Right, oh, jeez. Good Lord. All right. So that was the first episode back for a while, and so we'll try the 5 questions format. We will try to do a longer format podcast as well, and just see if this is still a popular thing. If you guys want to see it, make sure on Facebook that you're following us and commenting, stuff like that. YouTube, I think you posted on YouTube too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can comment on there, and then Twitter?
Twitter, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, follow us on those platforms. Subscribe, I think, is what you do on YouTube, that kind of stuff, and then we can keep making.
Are we gonna do a live too?
Oh yeah, we were talking about doing a live.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So we'll figure out a good time to do lives so that people would actually be able to tune in, and the kids will potentially tune into that too. We may be able to do it without the kids. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Anyway, so that was it. And post anything. If you have any additions to our rambling topics or anything like that, message me or...
Don't message me because I'm not supposed to know.
Yeah, he's
Message
not
her.
supposed to know. So you'll have to find me on Facebook and message me.
Yeah.
So, or, I don't know. There's really no way to do that on YouTube. But anyhow, that's it.
Alrighty.
That's a wrap.
Bye.